Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Atalanta have destroyed Verona 5-0 as they close the gap on Inter and Napoli at the top of the table, and they put Verona in a difficult situation at the bottom of Serie A. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, it was another masterclass performance from Atalanta, but if it just shows how much of a cruel game football is. We started the game and Verona get a corner early on in the first minute, and they come very close. They hit the crossbar, and the goalkeeper was nowhere to see. The header comes in and it hits the crossbar, and the ball goes away. And if at that moment Verona would have scored, maybe the complexion of the change could have been completely different. But Verona missed a chance. They hit the crossbar. They're not able to score. And within 30 seconds later, Atalanta go forward. The Catalar, hits the crossbar. Amazing run from him. Hits the crossbar. Ball comes in back, and there is Matteo Retegui, and he puts the ball in the back of the net. So within 90 seconds, Verona from scoring a goal go on to concede a goal, and that basically just opened the floodgates from Atalanta. They just kept on going. They created so many chances. They had so much of the at 70% possession of the ball. And again, I said in the Dortmund video when I was doing their review, when I watched that game, you can have as much of a possession as you want to, but if you don't do anything with that, it doesn't really matter. And Atalanta, on the other hand, they were completely different. They created so many chances. They won 5-0. They could have easily won 8-0 or 9-0, but they were simply spectacular. And Matteo Retegui, I mean, what a game he had! 4 goals. To score 4 goals in in a single game is not a simple feat. They get the second goal, it becomes a 2-1. They get Edison scores the third goal, it becomes a 3-0. Retegui scores a hat trick. Like within 40 minutes, the guy had scored a hat trick. They go into the first half winning 4-0. They come back for the second half. It is the same. Retegui scores the 5th goal for Atalanta, his 4th of the game. It is his second goal of second hat trick of Serie A this season. And I mean, they were simply spectacular. People are going to say that it was Verona and whatnot. No, but it doesn't really matter. If you're scoring 5 goals against any team and you're playing Serie A away from home, it is always going to be a spectacular. Again, it was a spectacular performance from the entirety of that team. I agree that Retegui scored the 4th goal, 4 goals. But if you look the entirety of that game, so many other players were involved, in creating those 4 goals. Especially like let's talk about the first goal. The Catalan is the one who created everything, and Retegui was just there for the rebound to put the ball in the back of the open net. So it was a very well worked performance, and Rui Patricio, you have to give credit to him. Like, he really did not have to do anything in the entirety of that game, but late in second half he had to make a double amazing save, and he goes and he does that. That was the, I think, the only good chance Verona had, in my opinion, that double save that Patricio had to pull away, and when he was needed, he added that. People, a lot of people look at stats, and if you look at the stats, both of them had 7 shots on target. But Atalanta scored 5 of those, and Verona were not able to score a single one of them. So that just shows that it doesn't really matter what type, that stats don't really matter. You really have to watch the game. You really need to see what exactly happened in that game. And Atalanta, I mean, they know how important this weekend is. And if you think about it, like Napoli have a very difficult game against Udinese. Even though Napoli are the home side, I think Udinese will be a tough game. And Inter, they lost to Fiorentina last weekend. It was on Wednesday. It was a thumping by Fiorentina, and now they again have to play. So if you look between the top 3 teams who are fighting for the title, I think Atlanta had the easiest game, and they knew that as well. And they made sure that they won that game, and they won that comprehensively. So now again, even though they are a point behind Inter, they are 4 points behind Napoli. They have thrown the gauntlet. Now the pressure is going to be on Napoli. The pressure is going to be on Inter as well. This especially, I would say Inter are going to be under a lot more pressure. They really have to win. They cannot really afford to drop any more points. If I'm being very honest with you, and none of them. I keep on saying that none of the top 3 can really afford, especially the chasing pack. It is going to be really interesting. I still think Napoli are going to be the favorite, in my opinion, going into that game against Udinese, but they are going to feel the presence of Atalanta at their back. Inter as well, I don't think they are going to win, but it will be quite an interesting game, the game against Fiorentina. And Atalanta today, as I said, they were simply spectacular, and they would hope that this game, we need to understand that the last month has not really been good for Atalanta since their 14 game winning streak ended. Their performances have not been that good. So the last couple of games, they're starting to come back into their groove, and I think this game is going to give them a lot of confidence, and they would hope that it can maybe start another long winning run that can propel them to the title. In my prediction before the season started, I said this was going to be at Atalanta's here. I really thought that Atalanta were gonna win it, so I'm really rooting for them. I thought they were my pick to win the league, so I really hope it happens. Talking about Verona, I mean. I sort of expected that they were going to lose, and I keep on saying, because the league is so tight now. They are 14th or 15th, 14th in at the moment in the table, or 15th in the table. But the points that they have is like one bad result, and it was a really bad result. Not only did they lose, they conceded 5 goals. They have a minus 27 goal difference. Minus 27 goal difference when there are 9 or 8, 10 teams within like 6-7 point difference. That is a huge a problem for Verona. And I think that I really think that if there is one team in the entirety of Europe, I'll be very honest, who can get relegated on the basis of goal difference, I think that is going to be Verona, because their goal difference is horrendous. We still have to play like almost 13-14 games, and they are on minus 27. It could easily go to minus 30 or something, minus 40 even, with the way that they are playing. So not only did they lose, they lost in an embarrassing way, and they have affected so much. Like it's quite possible that they with a couple of teams below them win their games, they could easily end up being into the bottom three of Serie A at the end of the weekend. That's how bad this result is affected. That's how close that league is. I keep on saying, whenever I make my prediction video, I keep on saying that every single game matters, every single point matters, and this is why it matters. And every single goal matters because of this goal difference, because of how tight the league is. I think Verona, after I sometimes a player has a special special day, gives out a special performance. But when you are 2-0 down, when you're 3-0, if I am let me be honest, I get it. Like, I'm not saying that you accept your defeat and whatnot, but just change the way that you're playing. Verona kept on going, trying to score a goal. When you're 3-0 down, make sure you get to the half. When you get to half time, when you're 2-0 down, make sure you get to half time 2-0. And when you have conceded the third goal, make sure that you don't don't go ahead and try to score the goal. Make sure that you keep it clear, keep it safe, keep it tidy, and get to halftime 3-0, and then the managers can give out tactics and maybe devise a new game plan. What you have to do in the second half. Second half, they were much better. They really did not let Atalanta run rings around them, because the manager told them what they were doing wrong in the break. So sometimes players don't really use their head, and you get results like this. But for Retegui, like he started the game with 16 goals, and now he has 20 league goals, and we still have so many games to go. It's quite possible he can score. Is gonna score 30 plus goals, 30 plus goals at the end by the end of the season. So great season he's having. And now the question is gonna start coming, because there are a lot of bigger clubs in Europe who are looking for a striker. So it will be interesting to see whether his name comes up, and if it comes up, will he go there, or will he's going to stay at Atalanta? But at the moment, Atalanta are going to be really happy, and they have put the pressure on Inter and Napoli. So yeah, that's it from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Verona's performance, what you guys thought of Atalanta's performance, and what you think about Matteo Retegui. Who do you think is the favorite at the moment to win the Serie A? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of February, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. It is like 425, 426, 70 plus subscribers still needed. A lot of the days, like about 20 plus days to go, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.